Hi, so I swear this is my last video about a new release for a while, but I have some new Shine by Essie here. I have the new Fantasy 2.0, Hidden Gems, and then 4 mattes that they just reformulated and came out with. These are going to be available for purchase on the 26th. I'm not sure the time, I'll put it in the description box. But I wanted to swatch them, do some comparisons, do a look, and give you my first impressions and top recommendations. These were sent to me in PR with no obligation to post. I'm very biased towards Shine by Essie because I have a collaboration with the brand, and obviously like they brought my vision to life, so I do feel a connection with the brand. So just take everything I say with that in mind. I won't keep you here any longer. Let's go ahead and get into the swatches. Okay, let's start with the 3 Fantasy 2.0 shades. So we'll start with Perfect Match, and this is described as a vibrant pink with striking yellow shift. This almost has like a grayness to it. It's hard to describe the base, but it's pretty sheer. Hot pink to orange to gold to green, a similar shift that we've been seeing in a lot of shades. And this is quite similar to a couple of shades I have in my collection, which I'll compare them later. But I'm telling you, like, I'm loving these shades. Something about the texture and finish is so good. On the drier side, which you can expect from most Shine by Essie shades, but the particle size is not egregiously large, so they smooth out really nicely, and the finish is just the sparkliest, most vibrant thing you can imagine. You get that same effect you would get from the super large particle size, flaky, sharp shades without having to deal with all that hassle. I don't know how she did it, but I'm a fan. Here is Game Over. I like how all these names are like vaguely ominous. This one is described as a purple blue with a strong yellow shift. This has a mid-tone purple base, not fully opaque, and then it shifts from gold to green to teal, and then it goes back into that like purple once you're at a very harsh angle. This one, it feels like maybe it has more binder in it or something. Like it's not quite as flaky, and I just pulled that out of my ass. I don't know if that's a fact, but it doesn't feel as flaky as the other 2 Fantasy 2.0 shades. This is a great one for purple lovers. I have some similar shades, but there are differences you'll see in the comparisons. Very shifty, which seems to be the common denominator with all these Fantasy 2.0 shades. The third one is Can't Stop, and this is my favorite. This one's described as a fluorescent sparkly yellow with golden shift. This is the driest and flakiest of all, but oh my god. I'm sorry for like freaking out over this. I just love sparkly eyeshadow, okay? This is so pretty. Like I can't, oh my god. When I put this on my eyes for the first time, I was losing my mind. I don't think I have anything quite this reflective and sparkly. Listen to me before you buy this, because I don't want anyone to buy this and then feel disappointed. It takes a little bit of finessing, but it's worth it. It smooths out, but it's, like I said, a dry formula. So if you're going to layer it over a bunch of mattes, you're probably going to get fallout. You'll probably want to use a tacky base. Personally, I would rather just kind of put it on my eyelid with a regular primer to get a little bit more of a scattered effect. I'm going to use it in a tutorial later in this video, so you can kind of see how it works in action. I feel like I've seen it all at this point with multichromes, but I shit you not, this sent me into another dimension. Okay, now we have the Hidden Gems. This first one's called Shine Bright, and it's described as a vibrant yellow with silver and blue sparkles. Love to see a yellow eyeshadow that actually shows up yellow. I mean, this is on me. Like I've said before, I have the complexion of mayonnaise, so I'm gonna link down a few creators who I know have swatched these and have deeper skin tones than me. This one reminds me conceptually of Ice Blink in that it has that warm tone base and then the cool tone sparkles juxtaposed against it. The main difference is Ice Blink has an orange shifting iridescent multichrome underneath, and this is like a yellow metallic. I will compare them later on, but the texture is quite similar. It has a very sparkly finish without any like grittiness to it. This is called Good Looking, described as a light sheer pink with green and pink sparkles. So I would think of this as more like a lilac almost. Like I would consider it in the purple family more than pink. And I see hot pink, teal, silver, so many different colored sparkles in here. It actually reminds me a lot of Fata Morgana from my collab, but I'll compare them later so you can see Fata Morgana is a bit more shifty and shiny. But maybe if that's out of your budget, I think these are at a bit of a lower price point. So like obviously I would want you to get my collab shade, but like I get it because I think these are at a little bit of a lower price point, and maybe if you're not concerned with exactly how shiny or shifty it is, you could probably achieve a similar effect with this. This one is Bubblegum, described as a light baby pink with pink sparkles. So yeah, I would say like it's a sheer, soft, like pastel pink with hot pink sparkles, and it shifts to a peach and gold. The shifts are more subtle. So this is another one that would probably be a good like topper shade or wash all over your lid. I think these are meant to be like more sparkly, like less intimidating, I think is how they describe them. So you know I love a pink moment. I'm really happy to see this. I can see myself using it a lot. Definitely not as shifty as some of the others, but still cute. No Choice is described as a hot magenta pink with gold sparkles. I definitely see like a teal to blue shift, and I don't know if that's coming from the gold sparkles that are shifting or like the pink part, but either way I definitely see at least those shifts. This left a stain behind, which I feel like you can expect from any hot pink eyeshadow like this. I will say it was not the type of stain that like stays through washing your hands. It came off like when I just used a little bit of soap and water. Very sparkly, but again, it doesn't feel super textured. It feels like a more smooth but a little bit dry finish. Long Shot is described as a taupe brown with deep purple undertones and gold sparkles. This is definitely probably the most subdued out of all of them. Like it's very much a cool tone, like minky brown, I guess, and it has a little bit of sparkle. I wouldn't consider it to be a sparkly. It has a very small particle size and a soft metallic finish. Just Right is described as a soft tan with silver shift and pink sparkles. This is another more subdued one. I definitely see a little bit of a shift, like it goes from a muted grayish purple to a soft gold. Definitely nothing like the first shades we went over in terms of intensity, but it's a good like soft neutral moment. This is a type of shade I would use as a like structure builder, and then I would put a more sparkly or multi-chromatic shade on top. Breakthrough is described as a soft warm copper with green sparkles. This shade is very complex and it might not fully translate through my swatch, but I see so many things going on. It has that like copper to gold shift, and I see so many green sparkles, and there's also like a purple element to it. Fantastic spicy neutral. I think this would be such a good one and done shade. That's probably how I will use it the most, like if I just want an effortless one shadow look. I also think it would pair really well with either neutrals or more colorful shades because it has those subtle colorful elements that would pull a look together. Jazzy Green is described as a soft mint with pink sparkles. I would describe this as like a pastel aqua, and then it shifts to gold, and there are cool tone pink or like lilac sparkles throughout it, which have a bigger particle size than the like mint base, so they pop out against it a lot more. I don't think you can really see that in my swatch here, but in person the sparkles are pretty striking against that base, and it creates a really pretty effect. Take Me Back is described as a metallic teal green with golden shift and sparkles. I wouldn't describe this as a metallic personally. I think the base is not fully opaque. Like it's probably a semi-sheer mid-toned teal base with a ton of sparkles. So dimensional. I see like gold to green shifting sparkles. So overall it shifts from like gold, green, teal with that semi-sheer teal base. So sparkly in person. I think this is one of my favorites out of this collection. Infinite Blue is described as an icy blue with a hint of pink sparkles, and when they say a hint, they mean like a whisper, like a suggestion of pink sparkles. I don't really see too many. Like if I squint and like put my eyes out of focus, I see some, but I see mostly like brighter blue sparkles mixed throughout it, and then it shifts to like a purple and then gold, more of a subtle shift and not a super sparkly finish. It's pretty. I don't really like this type of blue personally, but I see what they were trying to do with this shade, and I think it's pretty if you're into this type of color. Summer Splash is described as a vibrant lapis blue with pink sparkles. Yeah, this like literally makes me feel like I'm jumping into a pool on a hot summer day. Like it just looks refreshing. I don't know how to describe it, but this tone of blue and then those pink to gold shifting sparkles are so beautiful together. I'm not like a bold, vibrant eyeshadow girly, but this is one of those like very special shades that makes me want to be experimental and find a way to make it work for my makeup style. And for anyone wondering, it did stain a bit, which I think is to be expected since it's so bold. Fierce is described as a grungy hunter green with a golden red shift. Yeah, I would say it's like a pretty muted but intense sage green base, and then I see these fiery red to orange to gold and then a little bit of green from a harsh angle shifts. Very spicy, very sparkly, but not textured. It did stain, just to warn you. Lime Life is described as a vibrant lime green with a hint of gold sparkle. You know how I feel about these types of greens. They are not for me. I just can't, I don't know why, I just can't stand them though. It doesn't really have any texture or sparkle to it, from my opinion. I don't really see too much of a shift. It's more like a soft metallic, and it's dimensional in that I see like from straight on it's lighter and it's darker from the sides. So I mean, yeah, those are my thoughts. So they sent me 4 mattes. I guess they like reformulated their matte formula. I didn't even know they had mattes before, but anyway, I was actually so impressed by these, and it's not that I was expecting them to be bad, but I don't know, I just feel like brands that I rely on for like super sparkly multi-chrome shades, I just don't expect them to blow me away with mattes. I'm certainly not the matte eyeshadow authority. I'm not out here creating beautiful gradients and blends. Like I usually just pack one on my outer corner or like diffuse it along my eye and then call it a day and add sparkles. So take what I say with a grain of salt, but I just found these to be so pigmented, so easy to work with for my skill level, which is not high. And I'm like really enjoying them. I hope they come out with more colors. I tried to wear each one at least twice so I could at least speak a little bit about how they perform, and I had no issues with longevity. They applied easily, they blended easily into each other. I haven't tried them with other mattes yet, but based on my first impressions, I really like them. Just wanted to share this real quick. They included the Love Spell pop-up palette, which I believe was part of a Valentine's Day box, and now they are releasing it as a standalone palette. I like the pop-up palettes from Shine by Essie. I think they're a great value. The Treasure palette will forever be my favorite. But anyway, I just wanted to show you swatches. I think there's a great variety of textures and finishes here for a good value. I think they're like $30 for 6 eyeshadows. You can pop them out and put them with your singles, use it as like a holder for other eyeshadows, or just keep them how they are. This color story speaks to me as a pink purple eyeshadow girly. I love the pink duochrome shade and the really textured sparkly purple shade, and I think there are also a couple good ones to build a look with. Like I could definitely put together multiple looks with this palette. So I haven't used it too many times yet. I can't speak too much about it, but based on my first impressions, I think it's a really cute palette. Okay, let's get some comparisons out of the way. From left to right, we have Terra Moon's Winter Sun, Ensley Rain, Lotus Moon, and then Perfect Matte. Any comparison shade marked with an asterisk I received in PR. So Winter Sun is that like what I've called spiky, flaky formula, like it's sharp and a very large particle size. I feel like Perfect Match gives that same effect, but in a formula that I actually enjoy using. So if you were like holding off on that Terra Moon's release because I basically shat all over the texture, maybe check out Perfect Match. From left to right, Shine by Essie Glam Rush, Terra Moon's Cosmic Collision, Ensley Rain, Cosmic Rain, and then Game Over. Depending on who you ask, the 3 on the right are dupes, but like I see a difference. I see Game Over has a more intense purple base and it reads a lot more warm tone. But if you're someone who's not into purple or like pastel eyeshadow, you probably think they look exactly the same. So it's very subjective. Okay, left to right, we have Shine by Essie Ice Blink from my collab, Shine Bright, Terra Moon's Solar Delirium, Shellwe Makeup Autumn Leaves, and then Can't Stop. So you see what I mean about how Ice Blink and Shine Bright compare? Like Ice Blink has that multi-chromatic orange base, so it definitely reads different, but similar vibes. And then Can't Stop is just so sparkly. Definitely similar tones to the 2 adjacent shades. Like probably they are dupes in terms of color, but the finish is so different. From left to right, we have Bubblegum, Glam Shop Miss, Fata Morgana from my collab, and then Good Looking. So you see what I mean here about how Good Looking has similar vibes to Fata Morgana, but the intensity, shift, and finish are different. Didn't really have too much to compare to these spicy neutral shades, so we have Clionadh Carving, Breakthrough, Clionadh Cathedral, Just Right, and Long Shot. Definitely not similar by any means, but just to like contextualize them, because I think a lot of people know what carving looks like. I didn't have too much to compare to Take Me Back either, so I put Devinah Aquila, which I think is kind of similar, but definitely a lot more green. Then I have Terra Moon's Oppie, Alsafina, and Clionadh Lineage to compare to Jazzy Green. They all are similar in that they're like aqua with pink to gold shifts. The thing that sets Jazzy Green apart is that the pink sparkles are a larger particle size than the aqua base. Okay, here we have Shine by SD Hottie, Devinah Luna Storm, Shine by SD Obsessed, which is also a dupe to Terra Flare Star. Terra's WR124 from their upcoming release on Saturday the 27th, and then No Choice. No Choice is most similar to WR124. I don't think you need both. Here are some blues from left to right. We have Devinah Seance, Summer Splash, Shine by SD Diva, and Infinite Blue. None of these are really dupes, I would say. Okay, last group of comparisons from left to right. We have Terra's Voyager from their upcoming release on Saturday, Fierce, Devinah Orion, and then Lime Life. So I actually did 2 looks, but I was completely out of frame for the first one. So sorry, you only get 1, but I'm going in with Aggressive Blue with some trepidation just because it's so pigmented, using a very small blending brush to pack it on my outer corner. If you go in with a precise application, you won't get any fallout, but if you use a big blending brush, you probably will. Now I'm going in with the shade Take Me Back, which is that mid-tone teal with all those sparkles on it. I prime my eyes with the NYX Ultimate Primer, which is just like a regular eyeshadow primer, and I'm using my finger to pat it into my eyelid. The key is to work in small sections and make sure you like really pat it into your eyelid so it almost like fuses with the primer. Now I'm going in with the shade Can't Stop, and I am once again completely out of frame, so sorry, but I'm going in first with the Refer 1 brush, and then I'm going in with my tried and true Unknown BH Cosmetics brush, which is this very like floppy, flimsy, toothy brush, and I'm putting it on my eyelid. I just want to show you what it's like when you just use a regular primer and a brush to apply it. Also, my eyes are so irritated from all the eye swatching I did. If I used a glitter primer, it would just be a crusty mess. So we're just doing a little bit more of a subdued PC look. Now I'm going in with Shine Bright on my inner corner. I feel like this ties everything together because it has those blue sparkles in it. Going in my lower lash line with Take Me Back, and then I'm going in again with Aggressive Blue. I don't know why I did it in this order, no rhyme or reason. Now I'm going in with Shine Bright to brighten up that inner part of my lower lash line, same detailed brush. And that's the finished look. Pretty simple. I did something similar on my Instagram stories, and a lot of you were saying you really liked how it came out, so I thought you might be interested in seeing how I created the look. I added the Take Me Back and Shine Bright shadows just so I could get use of a few more on camera, but you could do pretty much the same thing with just Can't Stop and Aggressive Blue. So the great thing about singles is that you can pick and choose what you like, if you like any of them, and if you don't, there will be plenty more releases coming from indie brands. I think there are a lot of good ones in this collection. My personal favorites are Can't Stop from the Fantasy 2.0 collection. I also really liked Breakthrough, Take Me Back, and Shine Bright from the Hidden Gems. And the mattes I was just taken aback by. So let me know if you plan to pick any of these up. Like I said before, it's been a crazy week for indie releases, and I'm sure more will keep coming. So don't feel FOMO, don't feel like you need to buy anything. But also, don't let anyone make you feel bad or shameful for wanting to pick up more singles, even if you have a large collection. You know what's best for you and your budget. I've just seen a lot of negativity toward people having a larger collection, and honestly, if you've made it this far into this video, clearly you're putting thought and intention into what you bring in. So don't let anyone make you feel bad for enjoying your hobby. With that being said, I am taking a little bit of a break from talking about new releases because I'm starting to feel like QVC. So I'll probably have some deep dive or like duping palette videos coming up. I hope to see you there. That's going to be it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you found it helpful. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe if you're not already. Other than that, I will see you in the next video. Bye.